Right, on today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 scale Pretty Woman Leatherface. Now, all in all, Sideshow absolutely smashed this release. You get the Pretty Woman look and the Grandma look, and that's great. But this is the anomaly with Sideshow, because usually Sideshow, they are hit and miss, to be generous, and for me, they mostly miss. I picked up the Jason, and the clothing weren't accurate, the mask didn't come off. It was pretty poor, to be honest. And then Freddy is exactly the same. It's just a re-release from years ago, which had problems years ago that he didn't bother to address. The Scream, again, I think that's a re-release. The robe doesn't really sparkle or not, and it's just plain black thin material. Looks quite cheap, to be honest. So for me, Sideshow, they're not the best company, to be fair. I think this is the anomaly. However, a few months ago, they teased they were bringing out a Lost Boys David figure, and it does look amazing. To be fair, it does look really good. And they've also just re-released Beetlejuice, which looks great because it's got rooted hair. That looks fantastic. And they've just put out images of a Tim Curry Pennywise, which looks fantastic again. So hopefully they're going in the right direction. I did pre-order David from the Lost Boys, but it's like 300 quid. And you're then in Hot Toys, Caustic Plastic, and In Art territory. In Art, I paid like $350 for my Joker. Caustic Plastic, around $340 for the deluxe with the coffin for Nosferatu, and Bela Lugosi Dracula as well. They were about $340, $350, and Hot Toys as well ranges from $280 to $350. Sideshow have got a massive step they need to take before they start justifying 300 quid. And you can start with the packaging, to be honest. Like, this is 250 quid, and it just comes in this box. Now, the box doesn't make a collectible by any means, but when you unbox, I'll go with the top tier, because when I unboxed the Joker, my head fell off. It feels so premium. You feel like you've spent your money well. If I spent 300 quid on this and it turns up like this, even though the box just gets discarded, it just gets put under the bed or whatever, it just doesn't feel like a premium collectible. It feels very run-of-the-mill. And unboxing something, no matter how daft this sounds, like, it's exciting. Like, it just is. Like, when you get a premium collectible in, when you get a 1/6 scale collectible, and you're looking at all the accessories and stuff, even like the accessories with the Mandalorian Child Deluxe, the accessories, you get 2 trays of accessories. In Art, you get 2 trays of accessories, basically. It's incredible. They're all die cast. Like, then you look at the tailoring in the Joker and the Nosferatu. It's inch perfect. It's incredible how good the details actually look. And I just don't think Sideshow are there. So I'm hoping the David from the Lost Boys is a big step up, and they can start rivaling it, because they've just released 2 horror things, and we don't get enough horror 1/6 scale. So if Sideshow can step up, that's fantastic, because more horror 1/6 scale is always a good thing. But to be fair, like I say, with this release, they knocked it out the park. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's take a look anyway. Right, so this is the box art. Now you've got a nice image of Leatherface there. Then we've got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre up the side. Similar image on the back with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And that image carries on to the side. So, like I say, the box art isn't too bad. But just when you compare it to companies like Caustic Plastic and In Art and stuff, yeah, man. And this is the figure you get. Leatherface, chainsaw blade, keeping it together, which, yeah, it's okay. It is what it is. But yeah, let's get the accessories out and take a look. Right, so we'll start off with hands. You get closed fist there. Closed fist there. A grabbing fist, which there's some nice detailing on these hands, to be honest. Not too bad at all. And then you get this open hand. Another open hand there. But yeah, some nice vein work. Details not too bad. A little bit clean for a Leatherface hand, but you know what, man? It's not the end of the world. So yeah, hands, as far as hands go, it's not too bad. Then we'll move on to the base. You get crotch grabber and Texas Chainsaw Massacre base, which That's not too bad, to be fair. I do quite like that, in fairness. Like, and we'll move on to weapons. So, get this little bone knife, which there's some pretty cool detail on that, to be fair. That isn't too bad either. I keep saying it's not too bad, but like I said at the beginning, I'm very impressed with this release, to be honest. I don't think the blood stands out too much on that, but again, man, that's not bad at all. That's pretty good. Now we'll take a look at the chainsaw, which again, the only thing I pick up is the blood work isn't fantastic. Probably need to bloody that up myself, to be honest. But there is some nice weathering on that, chips and stuff. And it is actually really well made. The colours not too bad. So yeah, man, I've always preferred like the yellowish look over the green, to be honest. Because that's the argument if the chainsaw was like a green or a yellow, but I always prefer the yellow. But yeah, man, I don't think that's too bad. Then we'll go with the grandma head sculpt, which I've got to say, I love both of these head sculpts are fantastic, I think. Some nice detailing in the mouth and eyes that you can see there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, man, I think even for sculpted hair as well, which I say for sculpted hair, I always get sculpted hair, to be honest. Can't be bothered with it. But sculpted hair, man, that's fantastic. And then this is the Pretty Woman mask, which is absolute perfection, mate. I adore that sculpt so much. It's so creepy, man. You see a bit of his beard underneath there. The hair looks pretty good. The makeup looks cool. The eyes look really good in this mask. You see a bit of the mouth as well. Like, yeah, man, I think that's fantastic, to be honest. I think that's such a good sculpt. And then we have little apron for the grandma look as well. So yeah, man. All in all, I think all the accessories are pretty cool. But yeah, I just love that sculpt, man. Such an amazing sculpt, that. But yeah, let's take a look at the figure itself. Right, so this is going to be the grandma look. And all in all, I think Sideshow absolutely smashed this, to be honest. I think the clothing looks sick. Everything drapes well. Everything fits well. Leatherface, they've used quite a big body, so it's quite accurate to the character. It's got like a fat suit on, and yeah, man, it's sick. And you've got, yeah, man, everything just looks proper cool. I've never actually had him in this look because the Pretty Woman look is so good. But yeah, this is such an underrated look for Leatherface because he just looks quality. Yeah, man. You've got the little charm bracelet there, which looks cool, man. The only thing I hate about this look is exposing the elbows. I'm not a massive fan when you can see the joints because it takes away all the level of realism. And again, that's where caustic plastic and in art have got it nailed, because seamless joints and stuff and magnetic joints, so that you do away with pegs, because that just makes it look like an action figure, really. And you can see the joint in the elbow there, but worst of all, you can see the wrist pegs, and wrist pegs are just a thing of the past, man. You can't be. See, that again, Sideshow, that's something Sideshow have got to look at if they're gonna compete with Hot Toys in art and caustic plastic. Like decisions like this, like the double jointed elbow's cool and that, but to me, man, it just takes away all the level of realism. That's why the Pretty Woman look has always been my opted look, because you've got the jacket on, so you get away with the joints being exposed. and it just looks much better. But yeah, man, all in all, apart from the body reviews, which I could swap out, I guess, that's not too much of an issue. Um, Everything else looks spot on, though. I think the quality of this figure is really up there, to be honest. I think Sideshow absolutely killed it. But yeah, I'll swap over to the Pretty Woman look now, and we'll take a look at that. Right, so here we have the Pretty Woman look, and yeah, man, I think you've absolutely nailed that. Such an amazing look. The main thing about this figure is the proportions of Leatherface is like spot on. You've made him a big boy, like, and that makes sense, man. But yeah, absolutely incredible. You see there's bits of weathering on the jacket. The pants are tailored really well. The boots look spot on as well. A few scuffs and stuff. The tie is also spot on. Yeah, it's just a really good take on Leatherface, really. So yeah, I'm going to try and switch the pose up a bit because that's just quite standard. So I'll go for another pose, maybe chainsaw above the head or something. So give me a minute and we'll go back to that. I will say though, he's a fucking nightmare for bouncing, man. It took me so long to get him. Obviously it doesn't help that the base is spinning around, but yeah, it's fucking stupid, mate. So difficult. So the stand is absolutely needed for this figure, to be honest. Which this figure might be, the next pose might be on the stand. But yeah, give me a second, we'll be back. And yeah, we've got a bit of movement in that pose, which, got to be honest, I'm not the best at posing 1/6 scale stuff. It's something I need to work on, definitely. But yeah, I quite like that. Obviously, the chainsaw dance at the end of the film, which isn't actually how I have it, but yeah, man, I think that just looks phenomenal, to be honest. It's so hard posing 1/6 scale stuff. Should just get into statues, man, because I'm proper shit at posing. I will say though, like you can see how bunched up the jacket is, like around that area, and it kind of does knock the posing ability because even though he's like, I think he's got butterfly joints in his shoulders, so you know his movement is great without that jacket on, but once that jacket comes into play, man, like that kind of does restrict his movement slightly. But all in all, man, I think that's a pretty solid pose, though. See that come round. See the mask underneath the chainsaw. I think that's pretty cool, man. And like everybody else on the planet, I think this is easily my favourite look of Leatherface. There's something just disturbing about that mask, and I think it's also the scene that comes with the film, because for me that dinner scene is one of the most disturbing scenes in a film I've ever watched. It's just constant torture, and they're just toying with Marilyn Burns. It's heavy, man. So it still has an effect on me. I still think it's a very fucking disturbing scene, and obviously, yeah, the fact it's dinner, so he went and put his makeup mask on. It's just, there's something inherently disturbing about the Pretty Woman Leatherface. He's got dressed up to torture somebody. It's fucked, man. It's well and truly fucked. But yeah, man, I do think Sideshow done a really good job with this. I've got to be honest, I thought the grandma looked better than it actually did, and it is purely down to them exposed joints, but yeah, it's no contest for me.